Football isn't just a sport, it's a crime scene, a battlefield, a circus, and the ball, that's the weapon, the prize, and the alibi, all in one. Some players don't just play, they hypnotize, they humiliate, they make million-dollar defenders look like weekend amateurs. From samba flair to European elegance, these are the magicians, the hustlers, the con artists of the beautiful game, the 10 most skillful players of modern football, a countdown into chaos. You've been warned. Number 10. Eden Hazard. In Chelsea blue, he was electric. Low center of gravity, balanced like a gymnast, feet moving so quick defenders couldn't even blink before he was gone. Try to tackle him? You'd end up sliding into the advertising boards while Hazard drifted away smiling like it was all part of the show. Hazard didn't just dribble, he humiliated. He turned world-class defenders into training cones, strong, fast, hard-tackling Premier League defenders, chasing shadows as he glided past. He made the impossible look casual, like he was playing in the park, and he wasn't just about tricks. He carried Chelsea. When the team needed him most, Hazard put the club on his back. Goals, assists, moments of pure genius, dragging them to Premier League titles, to FA Cups, to European glory. Stamford Bridge was his playground, and every week he turned it into a theatre. Then came Real Madrid, the dream move, the Bernabeu, the stage for immortals. But instead of magic, there was silence. Injuries piled up, fitness faded, and the spark dimmed. A magician who had lost his wand. But here's the thing, Hazard's prime can never be erased. For a few golden years, he was unstoppable, a trickster, a showman, the kind of player fans paid tickets just to watch dance with the ball. In the Premier League, he wasn't just great, he was magic. Number 9. Arjen Robben, the man with the most predictable trick in football history. Everyone knew what was coming. He'd get the ball on the right wing, shift inside onto that left foot, and then bang, top corner, again and again, and yet no one could stop him. Defenders studied it, coaches designed game plans to block it, analysts broke it down frame by frame, still useless. Robben turned one simple move into a weapon of mass destruction. At Bayern Munich, he was a nightmare in red. On Champions League nights, Bundesliga weekends, it didn't matter. Robben was relentless. He terrorized fullbacks, slicing inside with a speed and precision that made even elite defenders look helpless. Yes, injuries haunted him. They slowed him down, sidelined him for months at a time. But whenever he returned, he came back sharper, hungrier, more determined to punish anyone in his path. And here's the beauty. Robben didn't need 100 tricks. He mastered just one. Perfected it to the point of cruelty. Everyone in the stadium, everyone watching at home knew exactly what was about to happen. But stopping it, impossible. Because sometimes the deadliest magic in football is the kind you see coming and still can't escape. Number 8. Luis Figo, the winger who could make defenders dizzy before they even touched the ball. Stepovers sharper than a switchblade. Dribbles so smooth, so elegant, it felt less like football and more like a royal performance. Every touch, every turn, a statement of grace and power. At Barcelona, he was adored, a fan favorite. But then came Real Madrid, the transfer that shook the football world. Crossing enemy lines, Catalonia to the capital, Figo traded colors, and suddenly worship turned to hatred. For money, for power, for glory. When he returned to the Camp Nou in white, the anger of the fans was visceral. Bottles, lighters, even a pig's head hurled from the stands. The betrayal was legendary. The stadium itself seemed to boil with rage. Yet scandal aside, Figo's skill remained untouchable. On the wing, he was more than a player. He was a matador. He danced past defenders, fainted with poetry, left opponents grasping at air. Speed, control, vision, he had it all. Crossing into the box, cutting inside, creating chaos effortlessly. Luis Figo, the smooth criminal of Spanish football, a player who combined artistry and audacity, loved, hated, feared, but always unforgettable. Number 7. Lionel Messi, the little man who turned giants into traffic cones. Close control so tight, the ball seemed glued to his boots. Slalom runs through defenses like he was carving his name into history with every step. Every touch measured, every move lethal. For 2 decades, defenders tried everything. Kick him, shove him, double mark him, triple mark him, nothing worked. Messi didn't rely on circus tricks, no pointless step-overs, no wasted motion. His magic was pure efficiency, chaos at speed. One moment the ball was at his feet, the next he was gone, leaving the defense scrambling, bewildered. And yet, even when you knew what he was about to do, it didn't matter. One touch, two touches, and he had vanished. The impossible became inevitable. The cheat code football never patched. Messi wasn't just skillful, he was inevitable. A genius who made defenders question reality. He didn't just dribble, he rewrote the rules of the game. And the truth? His greatest trick wasn't making defenders look helpless, it was making the impossible look normal. Lionel Messi, the magician who made football feel like poetry in motion. Number 6. Ricardo Quaresma, the Trivela King. That's right, the outside of his foot. Passes, shots, crosses that bent like they were guided by fate. Curves that made goalkeepers cry in slow motion, frozen in disbelief as the ball kissed the net. Quaresma didn't just play football, he painted with it. Every touch was a brushstroke of chaos, flashes of genius, gone as quickly as they appeared, like a thief slipping through the shadows. One moment he'd disappear from the match, the next he'd unleash a moment of sorcery that changed everything. He was unpredictable, untouchable, unbelievable, a player who broke the rules of rhythm, who lived between brilliance and madness. Defenders never knew if he would slice through them with raw pace or simply humiliate them with a flick of that golden boot. Mainstream fame, he never chased it. Consistency, he didn't care. That was for the mortals. Quaresma was something else entirely, a cult hero, the kind of player who lives in whispers, who makes fans lean forward in their seats, who makes defenders flinch before the ball even arrives. Watching him was like witnessing a crime in progress. You knew something outrageous was coming, and you couldn't look away, because when the Trivela King decided to strike, you weren't just watching football, you were watching magic wrapped in rebellion. Number 5. Zidane, the man who made elegance look dangerous. One touch, one flick, one roulette spin, and defenders were left dizzy, wondering if they'd been hypnotized or humiliated. World Cup 98, Euro 2000, the Champions League final volley that seemed scripted by the football gods themselves. Moments burned into history, not just for the trophies, but for the way he commanded the game. He wasn't simply playing football, he was conducting it like a grandmaster moving chess pieces across the board. Zidane's skill wasn't about flash, it wasn't circus tricks or empty showmanship. His was a different kind of artistry, intelligent, graceful, ruthless in its precision. Every pass, every turn, every feint was calculated, like he had the blueprint to the match written in his head before anyone else could read it. He didn't just beat opponents, he dismantled them, outthinking them, outclassing them, outperforming them, and all while carrying himself with that calm authority, as if he was strolling through a Sunday park match while everyone else was sprinting for survival. But Zidane wasn't just beauty, he carried fire, a warrior's temper, hidden beneath that elegance, ready to explode in unforgettable moments, the kind that turned him from a player into a legend. Watching Zidane was to witness poetry with a knife's edge, football at its most dangerous and at its most divine. And here's the challenge: if Zidane ever made you drop your jaw, hit that like button. And if you think you're ready for the next legend on this list, subscribe now to this channel. The countdown has only just begun. Number 4, Neymar Jr. Rainbow flicks, elastico after elastico, pure Brazilian flair that made defenders question reality itself. 1 minute, he's teasing you on the wing, the next, he's ghosting behind 3 defenders, smiling, laughing, as if the game was never serious to begin with. Barcelona, PSG, clubs where brilliance isn't optional, it's demanded. And Neymar didn't just live up to it, he thrived. A spark that could turn a routine Tuesday night match into a circus of magic where every dribble was a drum roll and every goal felt like fireworks. Sure, critics called him a showboat, said he was too flashy, too dramatic, but here's the truth. Genius has never been about fitting in. It's about bending the game to your will. Neymar's flair wasn't a trick, it was a weapon, a statement that football could still be fun, outrageous, and breathtaking all at once. He didn't just play football, he performed it. Every touch a scene, every goal an encore, and if you found yourself staring, frozen, hypnotized, then congratulations. You just became part of the show. Now here's your move. If Neymar ever made you jump out of your seat, hit that like button if you haven't done so. Number 3. Robinho. They called him the next Pelé, a crown too heavy for almost anyone to wear, but for a while, he made you believe it. Stepovers so fast, defenders looked like they were auditioning for a dance video, tricks that came out of nowhere, like magic pulled from thin air. Robinho didn't just beat opponents, he humiliated them. One flick, one feint, and suddenly world-class defenders looked like amateurs stuck in slow motion. At Real Madrid, he arrived as the boy wonder. At Manchester City, he became the statement signing of a new era. And for Brazil, he carried that street football fire. Favelas turned into stadiums, joy turned into art. When Robinho was on the ball, the game wasn't just football, it was theatre. But the hype was a monster. The next Pelé isn't a compliment, it's a curse. A career that promised the world, but never quite reached the throne it was supposed to. And yet, in flashes, in moments, you could see what they meant. The genius was real, the spark was undeniable. Because here's the truth, not every legend is measured in trophies. Some are measured in memories, some in chaos. Robinho left a trail of both. The kind of player whose name always sneaks back into the conversation when you talk about pure skill, the raw, untamed kind. Number 2, JJ Okocha. He is so good, they named him twice, and no, it wasn't a nickname, it was a warning. At PSG, at Bolton for Nigeria, wherever he played, crowds didn't just watch him, they worshipped him, because Okocha was unpredictable. 1 second, it looked like a simple sideways pass. The next, a defender was spinning in circles, wondering if gravity itself had betrayed him. His footwork wasn't just skill, it was spectacle. A one-man carnival on grass. The rainbow flicks, the dragbacks, the feints that sent entire stadiums into gasps and laughter. He didn't care about playing safe. He cared about making jaws drop. He cared about leaving you with a story to tell long after the final whistle. At Bolton, in the Premier League, he turned survival football into samba. He gave fans magic on rainy afternoons, a reason to come alive when all logic said they should be struggling. For Nigeria, he was more than a playmaker, he was a symbol, a reminder that African football wasn't just strong, it was beautiful. And here's the truth, Okocha may never have been the most decorated. He may not sit on the throne of medals and Ballon d'Ors, but football isn't just about trophies, it's about memories, about those moments that make you fall in love with the game all over again. JJ didn't just beat defenders, he embarrassed them, he toyed with them, and he did it with a smile so bright you couldn't even be mad about it. Pure joy, pure chaos, pure magic. He wasn't just a footballer, he was a reminder of why we fell in love with the game in the first place. Number 1, Ronaldinho, the ultimate magician, the smiling assassin of football. He didn't just beat you, he humiliated you and then hugged you after. At Barcelona in mid-2000s, the golden years, the Camp Nou lit up under his spell. No-look passes that made teammates laugh in disbelief. Elasticos so sharp they could snap ankles. Nutmegs that weren't just tricks, they were statements. Defenders didn't just lose the ball, they lost their dignity. Because the ball wasn't simply under his control, it was in love with. In a sport drowning in tactics, systems, and billion-dollar pressure, he was pure freed moments, about giving you a memory that would stay with you long after the scoreboard faded. When he played, it wasn't just football, it was art, it was chaos, it was happiness, dressed up in boots and magic. That's why he's number 1. Not because of medals, not because of records, but because Ronaldinho reminded us all of the reason we fell in love with this game in the first place. From the streets of Brazil or Africa to the stadiums of Europe, these players proved football isn't just a sport, it's art, chaos, magic. But now it's your turn. Who's the most skillful of them all? Do you think we got it wrong? Drop your own top 10 in the comments. Argue, disagree. Start a football war down there, no problem. And if you enjoyed this countdown, smash that like button. And most importantly, kindly subscribe to this channel. It's the best way to support this channel so we can keep bringing you stories like this. We've got plenty more to tell because the beautiful game never runs out of legends and stories to tell.